Why psychedelics are not enough. I had just had my mind blown after 2 nights of ceremony with ayahuasca. This wasn't my first dance with the medicine, but it might as well have been because I had taken a 12-year break. And in 12 years, you can forget, you can layer habits back on, you can build new addictions, you can bury yourself so deep. When the medicine comes again, it feels brand new. And I was about to learn something big, something humbling, something that hurt, that psychedelics are not enough. What do I mean by that? Well, my childhood friend Clark came with me to the ceremony, and we'd been troublemakers ever since we were kids. When the weekend was over, when the songs faded, when the jungle fire died down, we thought, let's celebrate. So we rushed to the local restaurant, and what did we do? We opened a bottle of wine. Seems harmless, right? But here's the kicker. Alcohol had been my companion for decades. My shadow, my numbing agent, my ritual. And there I was, after 2 nights of ayahuasca, the most profound nights of my life, inviting alcohol in like an old friend. Looking back, that was my first sign psychedelic breakthroughs don't always rewrite old patterns. I had heard the miracle stories, people who quit smoking after a night of ayahuasca, people who quit drinking, people who had left habits and, things they had carried their whole life. And secretly, I wanted that. I wanted to wake up the next morning and feel free. Isn't that what we all want? We want freedom. Freedom from the traumas, freedom from the pain, freedom from those childhood wounds. Yeah, that's what I wanted. But that didn't happen. It took me another year. Yes, another year of returning to ayahuasca every few weeks before I broke alcohol's grip. And that year was messy. Relapses, excuses. Nights were still won by my old friend, Cervecita. See, I realized something about myself. I was a slow cooker type. It takes me time to understand. It takes me time to heal. It takes me time to process my emotions. Some people, they just snap back quickly, but it takes time for me. And ayahuasca didn't blast me into perfection like I wanted. She simmered me gently. She gave me a glimpse of freedom. She didn't give me freedom itself. And this is such an important thing for us to remember, that ayahuasca is not a quick fix. It's a relationship. It's a dance. It's a movement of the heart. We're getting to know her. She's getting to know us, right? It's like any relationship, and it's a relationship with a very powerful plant. So it really takes time and patience, and it's a slow dance. It's not a fast dance. It's a slow dance. And the glimpses that I had in that ceremony, they were invitations. She was inviting me to practice, inviting me to look into myself, inviting me after the ceremony to see my negative habits, to see habits that weren't serving me, to see my addictions. Every time I came back to the medicine that year, I wanted a grand revelation, a vision of my destiny, a booming cosmic voice. Here is your path, Derek. Walk it. I wanted the answers. What am I here for? Give it to me. And I never got that. Instead, the message was simple. She whispered into my ear, stop drinking, move your body, calm your mind, practice yoga, do meditation, Remove the people in your life that are influencing you in negative ways. And that came back over and over again. As I returned, did another ceremony, but maybe I hadn't started a deep practice. I was just dabbling with a few things like meditation and yoga specifically, doing it once in a while. And she would say, not enough. Get back on your mat. Go back to class. Listen to your body. Those are not the things I wanted to hear, but they were exactly what I needed. I didn't need any revelation. I just needed a little nudge, a little reminder. And then I heard it again from one of my teachers, my teacher Josh at the Mythic Body. He said, we are vessels, and if you want to channel something divine, you better clean your cup. And what is the cup in this case? It's me, it's my body, it's my mind, it's the foods that I put into myself, it's the things that I watch, right? It's the toxicity in my life that I continue to fill myself with through social media, through alcohol. And I realized that my vessel, my cup, needed to be cleaned. Why would you pour something into this vessel that doesn't serve it? And those were the lessons that I had to learn during that year. And I thought, wow, I've been asking ayahuasca to heal me while continuing to pollute my body. I wanted to plant ayahuasca into the garden of my heart, but my soil was not yet ready. This is why the dieta is so important before you do a ceremony, right? You're temporarily cleaning out your system so that she can take root inside of you, so that she can enter you, right? So that you're clean and your vessel is clear. And if you spend the whole time purging in ceremony, it's because your vessel needs a lot of work. You need to remove those toxicities that lie deep. And in order for her to get at those, you really need to show up as clean as possible. And think about continuing that diet after ceremony too, if you can. So no wonder none of that stuff was working for me, because I was still doing all those things. Still hadn't prepared myself for her. And it wasn't just about me. It was about us. It was about me and ayahuasca. It's like in this dance, this relationship, this new synergistic modality that I hadn't been used to, that I wasn't aware of, that I just wanted to get in there and get the healing, like give me the medicine and heal me. But it doesn't work that way. We live in a culture of quick fixes. Can't sleep? Take a pill. Can't wake up? Take another pill. Can't get your heart rate down? Take a pill. Can't get your cholesterol down? Take a pill. Want to lose weight? Take a pill. We never really look at the root of all of those things. My dad is a great example. He's 82 years old. God bless him. I love him so much. I wish for him nothing but healing. And every night he takes a handful of pills to fall asleep. And every morning he takes another handful of pills to wake up. And when I saw that, he came and visited me a few years ago, I was like, wow, that is no way to live. I do not want to live that way. I do not want to end up with that kind of life. That's his cycle, and he's not alone. The average American over 60 takes 4 to 5 prescriptions every single day. And it's not just the elderly. Kids are also medicated. We're giving kids Prozac and Adderall and all these, medicines to regulate their behaviors. But, what is really going on with that child that is activating those behaviors? Is there some trauma? Is there a relationship issue? Is there something that's missing in their life? Are they in need of love? Now listen, I'm not here to demonize pills. Pills save lives. Medicine saves lives. But it's our reflex that worries me. The reflex to fix everything fast, to hack our way out of pain, to skip the slow work of healing. Like healing works very slowly, and it takes time, and it has to root, just like those strong traumas that are inside of us. The healing needs to root, and the new encoding needs to root deeply, and our brain needs to find new neural pathways, which this medicine also helps us do. It helps us ourselves. But it doesn't do that if we're still ill inside and we're still surrounding ourselves with all the toxins and all the negativity. So, yeah, I just want to really find a way to say this that helps people understand that ayahuasca is not a quick fix. And if we're not careful, we get pulled in the same mentality right around ayahuasca. We think ayahuasca is going to change our lives, and it does. It absolutely does. But not without work. And, not with just integration either. Like I always say, all the visions you have, all the crazy stuff, seeing jaguars, seeing your relatives, whatever, that's all great. But take one thing away from the ceremony, one thing that you can do to change your life, whatever that is, whatever that one thing is. One retreat, one weekend, one ceremony, we think it'll erase a lifetime of trauma. But trauma doesn't vanish. Trauma doesn't happen in a flash. Healing doesn't happen in a flash. It unfolds. It's a slow unfolding. Think of the waves on the ocean, just slowly unfolding. As we dance with her, ayahuasca cracked open the doors I had locked since childhood. Behind those doors, I had grief, shame, embarrassment, rage, memories I had buried deep. And I had to work through all of those things that she showed me. And yes, there were soft edges that were healed with the medicine. The medicine facilitates the healing. So it is a healer, but we need to take the things that have been facilitated and find a way to understand how we can go deeper with those traumas. That's what the medicine did to me and has continued to do to me, to show me, but doesn't necessarily fix me. I think that might be the wrong word. The fixing was my work, right? It was like a compass, it showed me which direction to walk in a lost jungle of pain and sorrow. And it came through therapy outside of medicine. It came through hours of journaling, pouring words into pages, talking with loved ones, conversations I had avoided for years, family members, with friends, apologies, all of that were facilitated by ayahuasca, but I was the one that had to make the phone call. I was the one that needed to understand how I had hurt those people. Spending time alone in the forest has also been great, or the mountains, or the water, or the ocean. Listening in silence, like listening to the divine. Day by day, things started to shift. Old patterns shed like snakeskin. New patterns took root. I started to feel humility, forgiveness, and gratitude for the first time in my life, in a deep way. Not that I hadn't felt those things at certain times in my life, but now I'm feeling them every day. Gratitude for myself, humility for this life, forgiveness for my past. Forgiving yourself is really a big part of this work. So after that first ceremony, when I returned, there were no big fireworks. There were just It was like a seedling being put in soil and waiting for quiet growth that required me to show up in a new way, required me to pick the modalities that I needed to maneuver through all of the different traumas and different blocks that I had in my body, right? That's one thing that yoga has done. It's really released those blocks that I had held for years and years and years. Meditation quiet my mind. The mind is powerful, and you know, starting to get a hold of some sense of peace is really beautiful. So that's when it hit me. Psychedelics don't do all the healing. They show us what we need to heal. They open the curtain. But you still have to step on stage and play the part. Do the work. Since that first return to ceremony, I've lived in 3 pillars, really. Commitment to habits that serve me. Replacing contaminants and toxins and, violence with peace and harmony and good food and anything organic I can find and nothing in plastic. And I'm still working on that journey. But yeah, just like listening to your body. What does it want? It wants good water. It wants good food. It needs to rest. Like sleep is so important. We really need to sleep and we really need to dream. We need to dream our lives into reality. And the dream state is a place also where we can work out some of these traumas. And it's a place where we can get in touch with teachers and we can get in touch with teachings. A lot happens in a dream space. So I encourage you really to make sure you're getting enough sleep. I started to deepen my self-understanding, right? I mean, it's like a lifelong journey, right? When does that ever end? When does self-understanding ever end? Meditation, yoga, slowing my mind, listening to my heart, right? That faint beat. I want that thing to beat like a drum, be like an Indian powwow drum that just tells me and shows me where I'm going wrong and where I'm going right. For many, many, many ceremonies, this was my mantra that I received from ayahuasca. Listen to your heart, listen to your heart, listen to your heart, over and over and over again. This podcast is part of that call. So thank you for listening. Important piece that has really come into my life in the last few years is this relationship to something sacred, right? Like we live in this universe, we're on this planet, spiraling through space in another, like how many universes are there now? We don't know. It's like, it's so amazing, right? And we're this little human being on this planet, related to all of that, related to the plants and the animals and each other. And that sacredness is a relationship that requires caring for, just like we care for our children and our pets and our gardens. And that caring is usually powered by ritual. It's powered by devotion. That's one of the things I love about the ayahuasca ceremony. It's a ritual, right? We're in ritual and devotional practice, how to cultivate a devotional practice. And if that word is weird for you, try gratitude. Bring gratitude into your life. Gratitude for your body, gratitude for your health, gratitude for your loved ones, gratitude for everything. And I know it's not always easy, in today's world, there's a lot of pain and suffering, but there's definitely gratitude. You can find it somewhere. And finding that gratitude daily is a huge shift for me. A huge shift. It's not just about saying thank you to someone, but it is about that also, at the store or yoga class or whatever. It's also about being grateful to to the great spirit, to the universe, to the divine, sacred. Find your word. Find the word that feels right inside of your body. The first two pillars strengthened my vessel. And the third filled it, right? So when you think of kind of my analogy of the cup, is my cup sturdy and solid? And when I pour what I pour into that cup, is it nurturing? Can I hold it, right? Can I hold what's in that cup? When I drink the ayahuasca, can I hold that ayahuasca in my body so that it can nurture me and fill me? So together, the cup, the vessel, and the thing that's going into the vessel is so important. And here's the thing, psychedelics, they don't just open the door to personal healing. They remind us we're part of something bigger. And for me, in the last few years, that's meant service. That's meant giving back. And, I've said that my whole life, but I've just been giving lip service to it. I was like, yeah, I'll give, but what will I receive in return? That's not giving. That's giving with strings attached. Like, to be of service is to not want anything, not expect anything. The actual giving is the gift. And this brought me recently to a feeling of abundance. You think of abundance as receiving, but there's something very abundant about truly giving. That, for me, is where true abundance lies. And I've been doing that through our nonprofit foundation called Voices de Floresta, which supports indigenous communities like the Nokikoi people who carry these medicines, who protect the Amazon, who hold the songs and the knowledge, the ancient wisdom. And there are many traditions out there, and I encourage you to find one that resonates with you, find one that calls you, and develop a relationship with them. And if you feel called, help them. So healing isn't just me in a room in my shadow, right? Like meditating on the step. Healing is collective. Healing is a remembering our responsibility to the land, to the people, to the future, and to ourselves. Responsibility to ourselves. So let's just say this plain. Why are psychedelics not enough? Because they are not all of the work. They are part of the work. They are an invitation to do the work. They are the spark, but you still have to build the fire. And you are the fire. So if you're listening and you're considering stepping into this path, go for it. Wholeheartedly, I'm so excited for you. I want everyone that loves me to experience the gift of ayahuasca, of this medicine, of this catalyst into healing. Sit with the medicine. Let it open you up. But don't stop there. Build your practices. Commit to the pillars, whatever your pillars are. Do the daily work. Because in the end, psychedelics don't heal you. You heal you. You heal you. The medicine opens the door, but the rest, the stumbling, the walking, the falling down, the standing back up, that's your journey. And hallelujah, what a journey it is. And that's why psychedelics aren't enough, but you are. You are enough. You are here on this planet. This is your life. What are you going to do with it? I encourage you to find a way back to your heart, to remember that you are a gift, a walking gift on this planet. And the world is waiting for your song. Hausch, hausch. Thank you for listening. We're building this show for you, and your feedback steers the topics and guests. If you haven't yet, please follow and subscribe so new episodes land right in your feed. Please leave us a review in a single sentence about what you would like more of: tactics, interviews, guests, or deep dives. I'm in such gratitude for listening to this podcast, and I look forward to this journey together. Hausch, hausch.